General Motors CEO Mary Barra is speaking a while ago at the New York Auto Show today. Now, this is her first appearance since being grilled by congressional committees just a few weeks ago. She announced the auto company's further plans to improve safety, as well as a progress report highlighting the company's bright spots. Joining me now, Vice Chairman of the Oversight and Investigations Subcommittee, Republican Congressman Michael Burgess. Great to have you here. Good to see you again. We've had you on many times. I want to get you to respond, first of all, to what the CEO had to say. Here's Mary Barra.
It's fair to say that much of the progress we have made in the last 2 months has been overshadowed by the intensity of the recall coverage. But in fact, there has been a lot of good news to report. Today, I would also like to announce the creation of a new global product integrity organization. This new way of developing vehicles will provide the highest levels of safety, quality, and customer service, and ensure that a situation like the ignition switch recall doesn't happen again.
Now, Congressman, you're taking a very serious look at GM and Mary Barra. What do you make of those comments?
Well, to the extent that she is forthcoming, I welcome that. You will recall at our committee hearing, she said that she had the matter under investigation and she would get all of the facts. And my intention is that she will come back and we'll get to explore those facts with her. But to their credit, they have made a lot of information available to the committee and to the committee staff. And for that, I am grateful. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has not been quite as forthcoming. So there's a little bit of a discrepancy there. Do know that NHTSA did evaluate some of these crashes early on. It seems like there were logical questions that should have been asked after their evaluations in 2005, 2006. And yet they were encountering the same problems in 2010 and 2011. Why did it take so long for them to recognize that there's a pattern here?
Well, it's interesting that you say that because a lot of people out there have sort of ignored NHTSA's involvement, and it deserves investigation, certainly. One thing we focused on this show that your committee brought out into the spotlight was an email to Mary Barra about the steering columns in some of these cars. Barra has been very clear that she didn't know anything about the problems, but this email seemed to throw that into question. What did you make of this email? Highly controversial. It's gotten a lot of coverage.
Well, it does, of course, we'll stipulate that the steering problem and the ignition problem at that point were thought to be separate issues. So it's not necessarily so that if she knew about the steering problem in 2011, she knew about the ignition problem. But clearly that's a question that has to be asked. Bigger still, there are 2 engineers who are now on paid leave. They have some serious questions to answer. Why did they change a part without changing the number? So it made it harder to go back and do the retrospective analysis. And why did one of them write, "I can't make a business case for replacing this ignition"? That now really rings very, very serious in the event that there have been the number of deaths that there have been.
Yeah, that really took a lot of people's breath away when they heard that. It sounded like the decision was, just a business decision and made specifically on the ideas of dollars and cents and not on what should be done and what was right. What is your committee's next steps as we go forward?
We are continuing to receive information. There is some follow-up work that is going on with trying to get some answers out of the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. I don't know if you watched the hearing on the House side, but it seemed to me that the acting administrator was fairly glib and fairly dismissive. So there are some details that I'm hoping that they will provide. And then Ms. Barra did say that she had a full-fledged investigation going on of her own. I hope she shares the results of that information with the committee because it is very important.
Lots more questions. Congressman Burgess, thanks for coming on. It's always good to have you on the show. Thank you so much.
Good to see you. Thank you.